So guys, I have three things to show you. The last one will totally shock you and stay with you for life. So first, a woman arrested for stabbing her husband to death over internet fraud proceeds. Quick one, this happened in Nigeria recently, a week ago. So this woman and her husband, they scammed some people, internet fraud, and they made some money, $15,000, and the man kept it for himself instead of sharing with the woman, okay, as the man of the house. So the woman started demanding for her own share. Since the man won't come up with it, the woman took a knife and stabbed him, and he died. Now she's in police custody crying. Guess where the tears is gonna get her? Wait, I'll gist you. Let's look at another one. Here's a man. The story is conflicting, many different stories, but what happened was that they found his daughter, 6-year-old daughter, dead. They have somebody smashed her skull inside the house and ran away. So he's the primary suspect, and he's on the run. This happened in Nigeria, and as you can see, 18 hours ago, the guy is still on the run. Okay, his own daughter. Nobody knows whether he wanted to use the daughter for rituals, or whether, I don't know what drove him to such a crime. But police have announced a manhunt for him. Guess whether they're gonna catch him? Yes, they're gonna catch him. Guess what's gonna happen to him? Listen to this.
I have sex with a man.
19 years you have sex with a man.
With a man.
Does that make you gay?
When I walked in that jail for the first time, you know what I smelled? I smelled butt ass. Butt ass. It was so bad. I mean, the funk hit you like, boom. I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh, shit. And every day I come in, that butt ass hits you, bam.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard from the horse's mouth. You see, the fact that you're a man ends only when you are still free. Once you enter jail, you are no longer a man. They will decide your gender inside jail. Somebody will walk up to you like this. Somebody that is the equivalent of a gate man outside will walk up to you and say, "You'll be my wife." A whole dogu, go they knock you. If you watch the extension of that video, he said more horrible things with his mouth. What he does to those guys. And he said that one of them is living with him for 3 weeks. When they bring a new person into the prison, they will go and select the bosses in the prison. These ones have spent 10, 20 years. They have turned bosses, mafia bosses there. They will go and select. It's like selecting girls out of the fresh prisoners. Now, that man that killed his daughter is going to be one of the fresh prisoners. Who remembers that video I made the other day showing what African prisons look like? And I said, whatever that is going to take you there, don't even dream it. Don't even dream of it. And that video got, is it 700,000 views? And I got messages from many police officers. Many police officers telling me that that video alone has really done more work than many NGOs. Because most people that are free walking around, they don't know what prison looks like. So they feel that crime is, let me just do the highest, I'll go to jail. No. You can never remain the same going to jail and coming out. Even 1 month. All this one, they will give somebody 6 months imprisonment and community service. That 6 months will permanently change your life. What's going to happen to you there? Let me tell you, when I was young, right, one of our uncles told us a story about a guy that went to prison. And they were the men there, about 6 to 8 men came upon him and were trying to penetrate him. And the guy was struggling. He was struggling. So some were holding his legs, some were holding his leg and pulling it until his laps, his hips dislocated. They just heard a sound. Bah! The leg don't break. From the hips, dislocated. So eventually they had to take him from prison to hospital, and he died in the hospital. There's a medical doctor in Nigeria that went to jail because he went to expose that there was a man, a notable man, that went to jail, and the men there forced him and penetrated him through the back, and his hole in the back tore. So they had to rush him to hospital from inside prison. to hospital. And that's because he's a notable man. If he was a random dude that nobody knows, nobody's going to rush you. You'll be dead till you bleed and die. They will bury you. Nobody will come to look for you. So the doctor was the one that stitched it up. And out of emotion, because the guy was, out of emotion, he came to online and tweeted it, and the guy sued him, and the doctor himself got 5 years in prison or so. I've forgotten how many years. I think it's 5 years in prison that he got for exposing the client's identity. Guess what is going to happen to him in prison there, that 5 years or more? That thing he stitched in his hospital, clinic. God. Anything that's going to take you to jail, let it be. There's somebody now that they have slept with your girl. Now you're planning revenge. Don't plan it. Let the girl go. Do you know how many women that God created? Initially, God created only one woman for Adam, which is Eve. And Eve was doing shakara. God said, okay, now created 4 billion. We are 8 billion people on earth. 50% are female. Do you know how many men exist? 4 billion males. If you now count men, it's around 2 billion. That man is not what you're going to engage in a physical fight for. There are some ladies that will take knife, they want to go and stab the side chick. If you do it, you see how that guy was describing the smell. And this US prison, the second guy was describing US prison. That when he enters, both airs, the smell hit him, boom. I didn't even play the full video. If I played the full video, more horrific explanation. And that guy was a prison warder. Do you understand? Just smell. They say female prisons smell. That's the first thing that they used to welcome you. Chick smell. And people are dying every day in those prisons and nobody cares. Because sometimes when you enter prison, your people just visit you once or twice and they forget. Nobody has time again. If you have been detained before, like an airport transition, they detain you there for 1 or 2 days. They want to search. They're not sure of your documents or more. Once you enter detention like this, even if it's paradise detention, Gucci detention, time slows down. All this one that you wake up before you turn like this, it's already afternoon. Before you step out of your house, it's already night. Where did this day go? If you enter detention, inside that 4 walls, you're not seeing anything. Time will slow down. You can spend hours. Finally, when you check time, only 5 minutes have passed. God of mercy. You don't want to be there. That revenge you're planning, don't go. Let the person go. Whatever they have harmed you with, let it go. Let the person go. If you want to fight it legally, you can sue the person to court, call police, but don't go to anything that will make you to end up in jail. That ritual killing you are planning, you want to unalive your mother. There was even one guy that terminated his mother. His brothers and sisters are still there or in the same house. Just because they left, he quickly, I think he's in Edo State, he quickly terminated his mother. He wanted to use the woman for ritual. They now caught him. He hid the body of the woman beside the house because he wanted to do it fast. So it would be that the woman is missing. They caught him. Guess what's going to happen in prison? Somebody's going to select him as a fresh woman. A whole dogu like you enter prison. They're going to see you as woman, as fresh chick. If anybody ever tells you that they went to prison, they have been to hell. There is no other hell worse than prison. Not to talk of African prison. Do you know that organ trafficking is going on in some prisons? Once they don't check record for the past 6 months, 1 year, nobody came for you. Bam, you don't go. Some countries, you don't go. Somebody will recover in some country because of you. They will take your heart and things they happen. Some prison wardens will convert. When they do prison, there was a video, I don't know which African country was that. They were doing women empowerment, whatever, in prison. So the women in prison, they were like 100 women, and over, let me say, 30-40% of them had children. How come a woman in prison is having a child? One was saying that it was her 4th child. She don't even know where the first 3 went. So once she gives birth, they will take away the child. Where are they taking the children to? Omo. If you now check what took her to prison, maybe something out of anger, like this one now that stabbed her husband. Don't go to prison, bro. It's not worth it. It's not what. Once anybody is doing any physical violence close to you, just run. Not because you're not strong, but because you're smart. Run, report the person. All these things that you'll be fighting on the main road, somebody bash your car, you come to throw punch. Many people are not alive. You touch somebody, you don't die. Prison. Don't go to prison. That is the message.